I can ride on the wings of the morning. I can fly to the ends of the sea. I can hide in the sands of forever, but you will keep following me. I can laugh from my ivory tower, making plans for how great I shall be. I can sleep in my dreams of the future. Even there you'll be speaking to me. I can't run away, I can't hide away, I can't find a way from you. You have the words of life. See me and know my heart. Help me to stay and live closer to you. I could fall to the land of the dying, dying, but your love would be bound to pursue. I could hide until darkness surrounds me, but the night could not hide me from you. I can't run away, I can't hide away, I can't find a way from you. You have the words of life. See me and know my heart. Help me to stay and live closer to you. I can ride on the wings of the morning. I can fly to the ends of the sea. I can hide in the sands of forever, but you will keep following me. I can't run away, I can't hide away, I can't find a way from you. You have the words of life. See me and know my heart. Help me to stay and live closer to you. I can't run away, I can't hide away, I can't find a way from you. You have the words of life. See me and know my heart. Help me to stay and live closer to you. Closer to you. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, while while journeying through this world of woe. And there's no sickness, no toil, no danger in that bright world to which I go. I know dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way is rough and steep, and beautiful fields lie just before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going back to see my Father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He's kind of off mute. He gets my drinks for free. And he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la. La la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, I hope you are, and you got us feeling all right. Good crowd for a Sunday. Sorry about this. My microphone, my this is falling. It just kept falling down. So you can see my shoulders are going out like this. I missed it in the first one. I couldn't find where it was. So.
You're not used to playing it,
and the microphone is, and the manager. Sorry, that's what she is. And the manager. What a disastrous beginning to a show. Gives me a smile, and actually the manager is running it because Rachel is off tonight, and manager will be running it for a few weeks, I think. And so we're glad that she's monitoring everything, and for your enjoyment, we've got so many people watching and enjoying and writing in, and we've got the lovely Jonathan Hennessy-Brown who's going to come and delight you
with his fabulous cello playing, and the microphone smells like a beer. That's what I love that line. And the piano, it sounds like a carnival. And the microphone, it smells like a beer. And he's sitting in the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. Got us feeling all right. Dies away, and as the mouth organ actually dies, get a new one. Stop it all. Forget that. Yeah, stop it. You have something else back to it. So, now, there we go. Now, what we're going to try it one more time, right? From that one, get it started, right, and see whether we can get it. There we go. It don't get much better than this. From a way long ago album, this one, I think we played the other night, and it was when I was very funky. Don't get much better than this. The simple pleasures we sometimes miss. Everybody could make their own list. Don't get much better than this. I remember when I was younger, nothing ever seemed to satisfy. Now I'm older and I'm wiser. All the years have opened up my eyes. Started out strong and I lost my way. Took a wrong turn on the road. When I look back on the lessons I've learned, there's only one thing I know. It don't get much better than this. The simple pleasures we sometimes miss. To love and be loved is the greatest thing. It don't get much better than this. Okay, this is all over you now. You get weary on your journey. Life's troubles seem to drag you down. Complications, frustrations make you feel it's a waste of time. I believe we're just passing through. I'm never gonna be here again. You gotta make the most of every time. Live your life while you can. Oh, don't get much better than this. Simple pleasures we sometimes miss. Comfort of a friend when we're feeling down. Don't get much better than this. Oh, don't get much better than this. Good old amp and a nice guitar. Don't get much better than this. Bit of Ben Castle here.
Of course.
Roy Castle's son, those of you who didn't know, the famous jazz trumpeter and, multi-instrumentalist. Well, you can keep your games and your fantasies. They never meant that much to me. To see the future, we must face the past and try to make a good thing last. Don't get much better than this. Everybody could make their own list. It may not be cool, but it sure feels right. It don't get much better here on earth. Don't get much better here on earth. Don't get much better than this. And the reason, what is this, I hear you asking? Well, we were sitting out in the garden this afternoon.
We were having a lovely time.
We were actually, well, just looking, listening, and it was fantastic. There was building work going on.
Yes, we got building work next door.
Sawing, hacking. I thought, whatever happened to Sundays? You know, they took time off. But no, none of that. And what it didn't get much better than this, that after a gig last night, we were woken up to the pleasing sound of the continuing saga of the Veira boiler.
We were woken up. No, we weren't woken by the drip, drip, drip. Were we? Because I came downstairs into the kitchen for the second time this week and found myself standing in a puddle in a different place in the kitchen.
And the plumber had not closed the vent or something. And so then we went back and I said to Sue, that's a drip. And it was dripping through and onto the light bulb. All of that stuff.
It was fine.
And it was fine. No, it wasn't fine. What are you talking about? It's fine. It's not fine.
The light wasn't going berserk.
And so we had to kind of go. We're dripping and dripping and dripping. And we got our trusty neighbour Dave. On a Sunday morning, he came over and he found the problem. We got all the towels soaking wet. And I thought, this is it. It don't get much better than this.
But
well,
actually,
because then we went out and we sat out in the garden and cut the lawn, and Sue just kind of sat there as usual, doing nothing much, and just watching me, you know.
Okay.
What was that?
First time.
What's that? That's obviously the test card. Excellent, thank you. And I thought, actually, what a pleasurable thing it was just to feel the moments, right? And what is it? I think moments is what we're talking about now.
We are.
Sue, play it for us. One of my favourite songs from Lockdown Session 2. That we love so well, precious moments caught within a spell. All too soon our lives, they fade away. These are the moments that we wish would stay. If I had my life to live again, I would choose to be with you, my friend. Time moves slowly and it goes so fast. Who knows how long the days will last? Cherish deep within you the love you gave today. Let the moments linger, for tomorrow steals there. Tomorrow steals that away. that we made so well. Lives like stories that we long to tell. When we're old with not too much to say, we'll have the memories that we made today. We'll have the memories that we made love that song.
That is a beautiful
because,
song.
And why is it a beautiful song for you, Susan?
I think it's keen to know. Yeah, I think for a lot of people it says it, doesn't it? These today is precious because we don't know what tomorrow holds, and I think a lot of people have found themselves in that position, and it's just one of those things, isn't it, that it's a beautiful song, beautifully written, and it's a lovely melody too. Yeah, I think it just says it all, actually.
It does, and I think it's one of those things that, what's the time, by the way?
The time is 8:15.
I'm just checking.
So can I just say to everyone, I'm sorry if we've had one or two little glitches this evening.
What's happened now?
No, nothing's happened. Just a couple of little glitches that you know about.
You got to put the piano on, didn't you?
I forgot to put the piano on. I also didn't start the music at the very beginning, so people were a bit worried that they couldn't hear the music over the starting pictures. So they just worried there was no music, no sound at all.
You didn't start. You didn't stop.
So I didn't start the music. No, I didn't start the music right at the beginning with the sort of the pictures.
Oh, right.
Right at the beginning.
You didn't start the music. Right.
So, can I just say, in my defence, I am managing quite a lot this evening. I've been managing several microphones and several cameras, but I'm in a groove now, so we should be fine.
We should be fine.
So
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And if they don't like it,
I can do nothing
they
else.
can go and tune into what? No, don't tune anywhere else.
Don't tell them to tune in anywhere else.
I've managed to get this fantastic cellist who's going to come and do things, and I'm trying to read the music to help him along, and that's proving interesting. I can't. All my bits in front of my eyes, your floaters. My floaters. I can just about see it. I've got these two things in front of me.
Can I just take a second?
Yes.
I just want to draw people's attention to this picture that I have over my shoulder. Whoops. No, I won't move it because I balanced it. Lovely Erica Clegg sent me this a couple of years ago, maybe, when we first started, and it's a beautiful picture of some bluebell woods. And I thought that's what's so lovely about the moment, isn't it? Because there's some beautiful bluebell woods everywhere. Moments of bluebell woods. Yes. So that's fantastic.
You take that visual and friendships as well. Things that actually I was singing that song particularly because last night we had the gig.
We did.
And it was lovely to see so many of the JV community. If you're new tonight, and you've just tuned in, right? Good evening and welcome.
Yes.
And from Lyndhurst, I don't know. I'm not sure. Many of the people knew what I was talking about when I mentioned YouTube. I think they went,
"What?"
Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But we had actually quite a few people, lovely people from the community, which was marvellous.
Made up a lot of the audience.
Yeah.
And it was the people I can think of: the Chivers, Helen. The Pools, the
Windmills, the Hills,
the Alan's friends. There was the Jack. Who did you say you nearly forgot?
Yes, there was Pauline and Barry,
yeah.
And there was Sarah,
Barry, wasn't it?
David, and
help us.
You'll have to help me out. Sorry, Sarah and David. I was talking to you at the end, and I can't remember who it was. And of course, the best of all.
Oh, Lynn. Yeah.
Lynn and Jim crept in at the back. Lovely Lynn struggled up. The church was on a bit of a slope, so it was a bit of a challenge, Lynn, wasn't it, for you, love? But she got there.
It was a long way up the top of it. I mean, it really was a difficult kind of on a one-way system. We couldn't find it for about half an hour. And but it's a lovely church, a very, very beautiful church. And David made us feel very welcome. And in fact, it's the only church I know, literally, where you pick up a free duvet at the end of the... That wasn't a joke. I'm not joking. Now, this sounds weird, but I'm just to tell you right now, as we walked in, there were literally, on the left-hand side, there were probably, 25?
Oh, at least.
At least. Double duvets from the local spa hotel.
I think he'd sold 8 and there was still a mountain of them.
Mountain of them, yeah. We took one anyway,
Yes.
just because we take anything that's going for a tenner. So we've got a double quilt. I have no idea what we're going to do with it. But anyway, if anyone's in desperate need of a double quilt, then contact us and I'll drop it round to you. But otherwise...
it was a great evening, and it was so lovely to see everyone. And I have to say, it was really lovely because we just felt free to talk and hug, and after all this time, it was so nice. It was so nice.
It wasn't, and whatever you feel about this, I don't really mind what you feel about it. You feel what you feel. I feel what I feel. When we looked out, there wasn't one single mask in that evening, and it was a liberation for people to be able to laugh and look at each other and hug and be together. Now, whether or not they passed on, I have no idea. Some people would have done, I suppose.
I think most of us have had it.
Most of them have had it. Most of us have done what we've done. We've got our 4 vaccinations. And it was an evening of freedom, and it was lovely once again to do that. We'll be coming up your way in Scotland soon, and Cowdenbeath and Perth, and who knows about Aaron, and we'll just get there soon.
Yeah. Can I read this out?
Yeah. I want to sing a song in a minute. So.
You can sing a song in a minute. I just want to read this out. Mike Newport sent this to me, and it just really has resonated with me all week, and I just wanted to share it with you. It was something that he picked up from an interview between Justin Welby and Kate Bowler, and she says at the end of it, "There is something so lovely that the Archbishop said that I just want to think about it for a minute longer, about when his daughter died and he felt God's love. But then his son got sick. He felt nothing, but his community carried him through. He said something like, sometimes you feel the love of God and sometimes you feel the love of a community. And if you are very fortunate, you get both." And then Mike had said, I've highlighted the bit that stood out to me because I think that this is what the JV community has come to mean to me and so many, with faith and without. And I think that's spot on, Mike. I think just meeting people last night and just chatting was wonderful. Meeting people that we haven't known and we just got to know in the last couple of years, and see them chatting and hugging one another and getting very excited at seeing one another.
And I think actually that that we make that point again. Always we make it every week. This is a community of faith and no faith. We sing songs of faith. We make no apologies for that ever. But you are united together in humanity, and we love having you and whatever your opinions are, and we love the fact that we are a diverse community. Diverse community of people. We may not agree with each other, we may not agree with the things that we do, the things that we lifestyles, but actually what we are is united by this, and we all let's hold hands. Remember that song?
Yeah.
All hold hands, and that's across the land, and that this becomes a picture of what we can be as human beings within a community. Next week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and sometimes we just feel on our own. And if you do tonight, we've got a lovely guest in, and I keep talking about it because Jonathan is just a lovely man. He's a great musical talent, but he's a lovely man, and he's had a journey, and he'll be talking about that journey and talking about mental health as well again. But this one, it goes like this.
Can I say that the Mecklenburgs are 39 yesterday, and they're very much in love, and so happy anniversary for yesterday, Mr. and Mrs. Mecklenburg.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. when the evening shadows and the stars appear, there is no one there to dry your tears. I could hold you for 1,000,000 years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, and I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. Oh, I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regrets, the wind and change are throwing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. Oh, I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. There ain't nothing more that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make me feel my love, to make you feel my love, to make me feel my love.
Beautifully sung, JV. And as Karen says, your kidney's sounding pretty good tonight. And I know for a number of you that was a difficult song to hear, and yet you're in a community where you are loved and you're made to feel welcome, and hopefully the loneliness doesn't feel quite so difficult for you when you're with us.
Indeed, that's where. Come now, Fount. I'm just going to play this. I wanted to sing this one for a man who's about, I think, how old is John Greenwood? Where's my CD? Greenwood.
John, how old are you? You better write in and tell us. But it's your birthday tomorrow.
On Monday, yes.
Tomorrow.
I'll be at university,
happy birthday.
marking all my students. If any of my students are watching me now, I'll be doing their final year exams. In fact, the final degree exams. This is it.
You shouldn't be watching. You should be revising.
You should be revising.
Practicing,
practicing all those French songs and Italian songs and German songs. And impressing me. No, you don't have to impress me. Anyway, this one for John, and it's from the album Hymns Project 2, I think. And I've been meaning to play it for literally months. Have you got it there, Sue?
I've got it.
Right, and so this one, finally, because it's been on my list called my
42 tomorrow.
42. 40. How could you look so young?
Can I just say about the work of fiction?
Hurry up!
Lovely Jonathan Hennessy-Brown saw that and said, "Oh, Jonathan, you're so well organised. That's marvellous." I said, "No, he's not. It's me. I'm well organised. He doesn't stick to it."
It's a suggestion. Merely a suggestion. Right, here we go. Come Thou Fount, a rewrite of mine, and I hope you enjoy it. New tune and a mix of two hymns together. Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnets, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, fount of thy redeeming love. Oh, that day when freed from sinning, I shall see thy lovely face, clothed in the blood-washed linen. How I'll sing thy wondrous grace. Come, my Lord, no longer tarry, take my ransom soul away. Send thine angels now to carry me to realms of endless day. My voice and let me sing always and only for my King. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let that goodness like a fetter bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh take and seal it for thy cause above. Oh, take my will and make it thine, for it shall be no longer mine. Oh, take my heart, it is thine own. It now shall be thy royal throne. Oh, take myself, and I will be always and only all for
Never finish a song early. From the album Hymns Project 2,
filled with some lovely goodies, some old ones and some new ones, some hymns that were written to breathe some new life into some old hymns. I think we have to get Jonathan in. I think we can probably do.
I think we
and
do.
We'll do
Stop interrupting you.
What we will do is we'll do and can it be for Pat?
Yes.
But to the new tune, probably at the end.
Towards the end.
Towards the end, if we got the time.
Fine.
Okay, Pat.
Okay.
Now we're just going to see a little video, and then you're going to be introduced to your lovely guest for this evening, Mr. Jonathan Hennessy-Brown. Here's a video.
When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend.
You just served me the smallest cup of coffee. Right? Be grateful.
Looking full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow. Keep your head together now and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking at your door. Oh, you just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Oh, oh, oh. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you and desert you and take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend. Oh, darling, you got a friend. My sweet darling, you got a friend. Oh, honey, you
Well, you've got a friend, and what always a great reminder of that, isn't it, of the community that we exist in over these terrible 2 years that we've been, 2.5 years actually, and we've been doing this. 92, I think this is show number 92 or 93, I can't remember now. And you've done so well as a community to keep things going. Not least of all, as I said last night, the charity, YGAF, You've Got a Friend Trust. And we thank the people that can keep contributing that. And I keep saying to people, and I said it last night, if you've got a need that you need help, or you know someone who needs help, can you just get in contact with us or Adrian Pinnock at You've Got a Friend Trust, and we will try and put our arms around you financially, just to tell you, we can't have financial life, we can't pay your mortgage, but what we can do is show you a little bit of concern and love. That's what this community is about. It was formed for that. That's why the BBC award came, really, for the Music and Arts Award for Make a Difference Heroes. That's what it was about. It wasn't just about the fact that I'm incredibly good looking and extraordinarily talented, although that's also true. And talking about an extraordinarily talented and incredibly good looking young man, look at that what a segue is that, is a Jonathan Hennessy-Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Let's see all the applause on their thing, on the Facebook. Here he is in the studio. It's fantastic to have you. Hold the microphone up and how are you, Jonathan?
I'm very well, yes, yeah.
It's lovely to have you in here.
Nice to see you,
playing live.
I've been enjoying just sitting on your sofa and stopping for a bit.
Well, can I just tell you, that sofa, we got that, it's a new, old sofa.
Is it?
Yeah, we got it from Deborah, not
sofa?
the road. Yeah, we got it second hand, yeah.
Oh,
I think a lady of 82 probably died on it or something like that. I always say that, yeah. I hope you're feeling good on it.
Oh, I was in a good mood until you told me that.
So, Jonathan, you're cellist, musician extraordinaire, teacher, player. What show have you been playing in?
Morning.
You teach in the morning?
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be a bit of a shock.
I better talk fast.
I know. Yeah. How long are you teaching for? Just the morning?
It's a long shift tomorrow. Yeah, 8 till 6.
Oh!
Yes, get it all done in one day. But I love it though.
At a school?
Yeah, at a school, yes. At a school that I won't mention the name of.
Well, you can if you want.
YouTube Live.
You can. Well, no, you're probably not allowed, actually. Probably not. No, you're probably forbidden to do so.
But it should be fun.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I'm teaching university tomorrow. In fact, not teaching. No, I'm assessing final year exam recitals tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I know.
Where?
So, in Chichester University. Okay. So I have to sit there, and the student said to me, Jonathan, they said, please tell me that you'll look smarter than you normally do. That's what they said. They said, I got my mum coming and grandma and everything. You know, so I've got to put a tie on early in the morning. You don't want to put them off,
do you?
Well, you don't really, do you? You want to frighten them, frighten the geese. So you're a cellist. What's the latest show you've been playing in?
Lion King. I still play at Lion King.
Are you doing Lion King up in the West End?
When you asked me to do this, I was walking across the bridge, I think.
Yes, that's right.
Sending you voice messages. Yeah. And yesterday I played at the Festival Hall with London Concert Orchestra. So that was a Gubbe thing, Raymond Gubbe.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it was good fun.
What was it? It's kind of classical spectacular thing?
It was the beginning of about 9.5 months of the last night of the proms. Yeah. So
I've done those concerts. I have. It's all the pops, really, isn't it? It's everything.
Yes. Yeah. No, but it was lovely. You know. Yeah. We had Nessun Dorma, which I imagine you know.
I know, but can't sing. Somebody asked me yesterday, "Can you sing Nessun Dorma?" I said, "No, I'm a bass baritone. No, I can't. I mean, I've had a new kidney. Sue is an alto. I mean, what can I say? You know, her kidney affects my singing. It's gone down. I can sing right down there now. But
I think you're proving that wrong.
Yes. Well, anyway, but that was a lovely. So you really do get around as a freelance cellist.
Well, it sort of goes in waves, but yeah, at the moment it's fairly busy. Yeah, and I mean, obviously we were all a bit quiet for a while with the whole world stopping. And
I know.
Shutting down.
How did you cope with that? Difficult. How was that for playing and teaching and stuff?
I set up my own company in that time because I'm not very good at twiddling my thumbs. So.
Right, and we'll talk about that, won't we? We'll talk about...
If you like.
We can. We'll talk about that in a second. Shall we play for them?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm just going to say to everybody, this is a fabulous cellist, and I'm trying to read this part. So just be patient, all right? And if you hear any big errors, then just shout down the thingy. But apart from that, we're going to play for you a little bit of Sanson from... the Carnival of the Animals, I think it is, and it's the Swan, I think, which you all know. And so here we go. So you use mine.
Yep, done.
And just so that you know, we have muted other microphones and we're just going totally on one microphone now, where we're just going to, on that one in the centre, and we're just going to do a classical thing, right, rather than a pop thing right now. Here we go. Sir, lovely.
Well, there were lots of hearts going up with that one.
Where were they?
Oh,
Absolutely
the likes.
loved it. Yes.
Oh, the likes.
The likes. It was hearts all the way.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Thank you, heart people.
Soothing. And what? Soothing music from classic FM. Is that in? Of when it's like the sound goes lower and lower, doesn't it?
My granny used to listen to Magic FM.
Oh, Magic
all day.
Seriously?
Yes, yeah.
Did that help her?
Yes, well, she lived to 101. So
that will do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Magic FM. Write that down, sir. I can probably use that.
Listen to more Magic FM.
Magic FM. We need more Magic FM.
Other stations are available.
Jonathan, before you play some really beautiful music, we're going to play some. Well, some consider him to be the king of the last, I suppose, 300, 400 years of music, really, and the basis on which a lot of our classical music is founded on. Certainly, Mozart built on jazz. Yeah. Nearly all of the jazz was built on Bach, and it was interesting going to Leipzig. I worked at the Opera House there, just opposite the Gewandhaus, where, of course, and in the church that he would write and perform many of his things. It was quite something.
I bet. Yeah.
But I always found Bach difficult to perform. But you have a particular type of mind. Would that be an accurate thing to say? You work hard.
I see. Okay. Well, are we in the sort of thinking of the mental health awareness?
Yeah. Just because I think
type stuff.
We talked about this, and I want to talk a lot about this. I want to talk about your experience and how you feel about stuff, because Mental Health Awareness Week is.
I'm feeling a bit light at the moment, but
Are you?
we're definitely going to get there. Yeah, but I have I have an obsessive mind, and I'm bipolar. But I think Bach had a very special type of mind. I mean, totally on a different plane to mine. I mean, because he was a genius. But he was very prolific, wasn't he? He wrote a huge amount.
Yeah, he did.
And he was very religious.
As well, absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually, so the bipolar, how does it take you? Because it takes people differently. Stephen Fry one way, different people other way. I've known many bipolar people.
Yeah.
Worked with quite a lot of them at university as well, and so that's quite interesting.
A lot of people
within the artistic world. In particular, that's the world we come across. And is there something I was trying to explore this with you earlier that in music makes us more obsessively one way or the other? We're the worst. We can't possibly exist in this world. We're useless. We're terrible. Or
I think probably a person is. It's debatable, but in my opinion, a lot of people are born an addict or with these conditions.
Yes.
And they might be attracted to a certain thing because of that, but I don't think being a musician turned me into a bipolar person.
That's interesting. No.
Yeah. No. But I do remember, and I know Dad will remember this.
Hi, Dad. I know you're watching tonight.
I think he's watching. Hi, Dad.
And Mum.
I went to the string course called Pro Corda, and I was very little, and we got a week of residential coaching from really good string quartet players and stuff. And someone from the Allegri called Bruno said to my dad, he's good. He's a good player, but he seems to veer off to somewhere else sometimes and get lost for a bit and
mentally
forget repeats.
Oh right.
Yeah. And it's still in there. I think it might be fair to the other people to say that I have to concentrate harder than them to get the same results.
Same effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, because I think actually that what with any condition, and I had this kind of dyslexia thing that I couldn't, and I had a stutter. And I, as you know, I told you I'm also depressive, but not bipolar, but given to depression. And so, I've always held my hands up to this. And but actually, it is what it is. We are where we are, and we're not always where we want to be. But definitely, I was attracted to this kind of thing. But I often get to the point where I think, where am I? I still, on opera houses, opera house stages, I'd be doing Falstaff, the lead role, and I would still think, is that bar? Is this the repeat? Or
do you ever wonder which one you're doing?
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I've skipped from Don Giovanni to The Marriage of Figaro, literally in one recipe. I just went straight over. And the pianist, the harpsichord player, it was at Glyndebourne, and he spread the chord. It was one of those, that.
Right.
And I was supposed to come in, and I thought. And I went straight into a recitative of Don Giovanni instead of to Mad Figure instead.
But the harpsichord player was the only person that noticed.
Yes, of course.
All due respect to the audience.
They wouldn't have known. Of course they wouldn't. But he shouted out. He shouted out the cue.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
But many times I've been frightened. I never went on stage without being frightened. I think that was something else. Well,
we were talking about imposter syndrome, weren't we? Which people with no mental health conditions or anything, I think, suffer from, and occasionally are honest enough to talk about in the music profession. A lot of us are thinking to ourselves, what am I doing here? Why am I even on the same stage as this guy on my right, who's so much better than me, or this girl in front of me? And the ironic thing is, or the strange thing is, that most of us are probably thinking the same thing.
I think that's the irony, isn't it? Is that we're promoted to the grand stage suddenly, and we're told that we can play in the string quartet from heaven. Here it is, and suddenly you're playing it, and you're playing the cello part, and you're thinking, And there's the kind of the looking to the side, thinking I'm here. Then
Yeah.
Could you turn him up a bit? Just turn him up.
Yes, it was just that I've got a message to say, could Jonathan hold his microphone up a bit? And
I'm
forgot
holding
there
it
was
here.
2 Jonathans.
Right, that's yes. Well, I'm holding mine here, so
must be me.
that's about right. That's good.
Right.
No, you're more quietly spoken than I am. So can you just turn him up and say the guest vocal, please, by this pass? So, Jonathan, right? Let's just. Could you play for us? Can you play some of that genius Bach?
Yeah, that's a great chat to have just before playing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome. Thank you very much.
No pressure,
Yeah.
okay? No pressure whatsoever. Okay, you can put your mic down. Tell us
From
what you're
the
going to play.
head to the bow.
Tell us what you're going to play. Tell us what you're going to play first.
I'm going to play. What am I going to play? I'm going to play 2 minuets from the Bach G major cello suite. And then, are we going to talk before I play the Sarah band?
Just talk about that one a bit.
We can talk about how it went.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can say, well.
Well, no wonder you feel like an
I have
imposter.
no idea what you're doing in here.
Okay. Right.
You're among friends here.
Well, what can I say? They are absolutely loving it, Jonathan. I've had a couple of really nice comments I've got to pass on to you really quickly. Our lovely friend Karen just said thank you so much. cello is my absolute favourite instrument, as a number of people have said that. And
Thanks,
she
Karen.
said, you play it so well, so sensitively. Thank you for inviting him on, which is very special. So this has
very
been
kind.
great, actually. Yeah.
It has been great, and I knew
Yes.
it would be. And actually, one of the great things is I love to have. Jonathan has been a friend for many, many years. His mother taught my children to play the piano, and God
did.
help her, and I mean that literally, friends, because they never practiced. Okay, and she would come to me and say, "Can you do something about that boy?"
In fact,
Each one of them, all three of them.
can I just say, in fact, it was her suggestion that Nick should learn to play the
Play
drums.
the drums instead.
Oh, really?
Yes. So now, he's made. I mean, he's a filmmaker now by job, but by trade. But he plays now all the time, and
Wow.
he's got a lovely harmony. But he plinks and plonks on the piano, but he never really. It wasn't his thing.
No.
What his real thing was rhythm, and she was brilliant. Your mum
She worked
was
it out.
very patient with all of them and staggered them through their grades, and fought with them each week. She took her boxing gloves every single time. And
She's
hit
still
them around.
teaching.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable woman.
80 years of age.
Yeah, and why would you stop? You keep passing it on. Let me just say, as from a musician's point of view, one of the things that I immediately note, and I played the viola for many years, and that's not my fault. Don't make the jokes. I don't want to hear the viola jokes. No viola jokes.
I won't. My
Okay.
business partner's a viola player, so I won't.
So the viola player, he thinks, that's it. I'm sick and tired of playing the viola. I can't take it anymore. So he throws the viola out.
Oh,
the
you are
window.
doing a viola
Right?
player,
Yeah, I am. Okay, you ready?
Right.
So he
Yeah.
throws the viola out, and then he thinks, right, that's it. I've had enough. And he goes down to the shop and he said, "Hello, I'd like to buy a flute, please." And the man looks at him and he said, "You're a viola player, aren't you?" He said, "Well, how do you know we've been able to start? This is a fish and chip shop." So I thought I couldn't have enough of that. But what I noted, and let me just say, quite apart from your phrasing, which is beautiful, it's a beautifully phrased Baroque phrase that you're producing every time. I was listening to this, and it is just because I've known you as a boy and then as a man now, and your musicianship.
We played together, didn't we?
Yeah,
Electric
we did.
Theatre, I
yeah,
think
we did.
it was. Yeah.
And we played we did a Dover Beach.
Malcolm Arnold.
Malcolm Arnold, yeah. And your musicianship is just now. And what I'm going to say technically is that your intonation, and for those of you out there, it means pitched, in tune. He's in tune, but not just in tune, because you notice, those of you who are not musicians, there are no frets on any of the stringed instruments in the orchestra. Okay, there are no frets, right? So that's that. Now he just knows where everything is. That's what 10,000 hours of practice have made him understand.
Not this week.
Not this week, but over his life. And so your pitch is just sensational. Your vibrato is lovely. It really is.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I don't think that bow is, maybe you said it wasn't great at the moment because you had
There's
it done
something a bit funny with the
bowing.
rehair. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but
But that's all I want. I just noticed that from a musician's point of view, phrasing and intonation. It's just beautiful. And it
would you
really
like to hear about the perfectionist self-criticism?
Yeah, go on
point of
then.
view?
That's what
Since
I'd like.
we're on the whole
Go on then.
Mental Health Awareness Week stuff. I mean, so my experience playing it is quite different to yours. Of course, I love the music, and I'm delighted that people enjoyed it, and that you have to keep that in mind as a player. But I was probably happy with about 40% of the notes.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird? So I didn't like the sound quality of this. That was too scratchy. That the balance of the bow wasn't right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could go home and do that for 5 hours instead.
And then it'll be better.
And then and it's self-flagellating.
Constantly.
Yeah.
How do you? Because I say this to my students, you end up having to live with imperfection.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because
especially when you have to start earning a living.
Exactly. We're not all gonna, you're not going to. There's one Jacqueline Dupre kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you feel once you've heard the Elgar played by her, you go home and you think, right, that's it. I'm not playing that ever again. I'm never going to. But of course, that's not true. You must end up living with, because I do, living with what you do, because it's not the best always, and you've always got imperfections. What's the thing I used to say to you, Sue, when you said, I come back from Covent Garden, and you say...
I used to say to her, how did it go? And you would always say...
Oh, it was all right. made X
Made a
amount
few
of
mistakes. It was never.
It was never.
It was always
I don't think-
the mistakes that you'd made.
Yes,
it was never
right.
how well it had gone.
And do you feel that the same? Do you feel the same, Jonathan?
That's really interesting. Yeah. I mean, well, I think nearly all musicians will remember the 3 bad notes the whole way home, and probably hear it in their head when they're trying to get to sleep as well. In some cases, and I mean, I've never heard anyone say, "I did 2,816 excellent notes yesterday." And it's just the brain doesn't seem to work like that.
No.
And I think that's across the board, with or without.
Is that okay?
issues.
Let's look at the positive side of that, which is that, of course, that seeking perfection, which is what that's what we were taught. It was never acceptable to be acceptable. It had to be better. It had to be better than it's fine. Fine was a criticism.
It does make it difficult with this.
Condition.
This new thing I'm doing, which is Tuesday to Friday, I'm doing sort of 6 to 7 hours running a music agency.
Oh my goodness!
And I think it's a part of it. This is part of it. So I thought, well, those people are better than me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get them work.
Right.
And I really admire everybody that we have on our roster. But I mean, I can't keep up. I couldn't play the Elgar.
Now,
But no, I could when I was 22.
Why was that? Because you were practicing an awful lot.
That was
then?
all I did.
That's what you did.
Yeah, and I didn't have children,
No.
school runs.
No.
I didn't have to make a living. I just, to play.
Played.
Although between 18 and 22, I could have taken much better advantage of the very lucky situation I was in to be at the Royal College of Music.
Yes.
But
You studied there. Let's just tell everybody where you studied. Where were you?
Royal College of Music. Yeah, but now things do start to tie in. At 17, I found myself in the Priory with the bipolar.
Oh my goodness.
And again at 19, and I started to drink. I on reflection, with the benefit of hindsight, to medicate the mood swings, I used to drink. So while some people were doing 6 hours a day in the practice room at music college, being able to play at an unbelievable level, I was in the pub wasting opportunities. But I've forgiven myself for it, because I haven't had a drink for 10 years now.
Congrats, that is fantastic, mate.
Yeah.
That
Thank
is
you.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is we'll talk about this a bit more. Come back to it. But let me see a bit more of this imperfection that you're talking about.
Bit more imperfection.
A bit more imperfection, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah. This
other
is
buff.
one of my favourites. So this is the 3rd suite, C major, and it's the Saraband. And talking of people at Royal College of Music, I often dedicate this to my friend Jim Bush, who didn't manage to stop. He's not with us.
He's not with us anymore.
No.
To Jim, can you mute both of our microphones, please? beautiful emotional reading.
Beautiful.
Oh, where's the mic? Are we unmuted? What a beautiful emotional reading of that. I mean, that's. I love the way that Bach, he gives, for the listener who's not familiar with the form, he gives you context by every now and again just giving you a chord. For those of you who don't understand what that means, there's a single note that generally Jonathan is playing. So he's playing the melody. But what he's doing sometimes is double stopping, so he's playing on 2 strings, or triple stopping, or spread chords, like that. And so what happens is he gives us the chord so that we have that chord in our head as you're doing the melody over it. And so that it starts to give you context and you start to understand it, even though you may not know where it's going.
Yeah, I mean, it has been said that there's a cross, because he was so very religious, and so you've got the harmony and the melody.
Yes.
And they're in these suites, somehow they're happening at the same time on a what's generally only a 2 notes at a time instrument.
Yeah. Yes.
And even when it is a 4-note chord, we're playing it in 2 groups of 2.
Yeah.
It's, and that saraband. So the cello suites are all 6 movement works. And tell me if I'm getting too technical and boring.
Go on. Just do it.
And the preludes are, you can mess around with the rhythm, as we call rubato.
Rubato.
Yeah. And then there's a sequence of dances, and I'm always saying to students, although you're on your own, it's still got to be able to kind of be metronome worthy. And the sarabands, I probably pulled that around much more than a purist would like to hear it pulled around. But and the accents on the second beat.
Yes.
It's a French dance, isn't it? So,
yes.
it's
very much like Czech music. Is that second beat? Yana Czech, that kind of da-da. Da-dee-da-ram.
Exactly.
And you're not even aware
dances.
of it. The listener's not aware of it, but it's a kind of a thing that you anchor in and you hold on to for that second beat emphasis. Yeah. I think what's interesting is that you dedicate it to, is it Jim Bush?
Jim, yeah.
So what happened to him that was quite emotional for me? I listened to that.
Yeah. I played that next to his coffin.
Oh,
he's my age, and sadly, over the years, I've become not desensitized, but I've come across a lot of people who have died from addiction and mental health issues, mainly because they haven't talked about it. And part of the reason why I talk about it is fear.
Yes.
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 People always say, "Oh, so brave to talk about it." No, well, really, it's because I'm scared of potentially dying from these 2 conditions I have: alcoholism and bipolar.
How does the bipolar threaten you? Do you feel threaten your life? Down to depression, down to the pits of depression, or what is it?
No, I'm more of a that's bipolar 2, which can commonly be called diagnosed depression, or it's close. Yes. But I think I'm more bipolar 1. So when I'm dangerous, to be around, or to myself in particular, is when I can't slow down.
Yes.
So
more manic.
Yeah, manic. Yeah. So there that episode I was talking about when I was 17. Dad came to visit me in hospital. I thought he was the Chancellor of the Exchequer. And I was telling him, you need to sort the budget out. And I meant it, It's kind of funny, It's okay to have a giggle. But it wasn't, it was a lot. And think that's, I probably only look 25, but...
you do?
That was,
I thought you were
that
about
was
10
nearly
11.
30 years ago.
Gosh.
So people, I don't think people talk about mental health enough now, but then, it's just nothing. It must have been such a shock for Mum and Dad to suddenly have to. You probably remember.
I remember, and
I remember what is going on?
Well, because a lot of us we knew about it. We did talk about it a little bit, but not much. And I hadn't hit my depressive stage at that point at all. Sue, you were going to say something?
You were chatting earlier, Jonathan, about the fact, and I think both of you would agree, that actually being self-employed is quite difficult anyway, that then to bring in any kind of mental health issues makes it more difficult, that you're worried about what that might do to your career or whatever?
Yeah, well, certainly I think a lot of people are, and it felt like a big risk the first time I mentioned being bipolar publicly, which was on a Mind blog. But I'd seen the Stephen Fry documentary.
Yes.
I think it was just called Being Bipolar.
Yes.
How's my mic technique? Are we all right?
They're good.
Yeah, okay. And
I think everybody's hearing you, is that right? Yeah.
okay, good. Yeah, please do say if you can't hear me. I thought, wow, well, he's doing it. He's doing okay. He seems to be relatively busy, Stephen Fry.
Yes.
And almost everywhere, in fact, at that time.
Yeah.
And the people who he was making case studies about were fascinating. And I had, so that, there's lots of these people out there. And it dawned on me that talking about it didn't need to be a self-centered exercise all the time. I am self-centered some of the time, but
most of us are.
Well, aren't we all? Exactly, yeah. But it was, it could help other people.
Yeah.
And the moment it went out there, I was getting, this violinist's sister had schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And can we? And where do we go? And who do we talk to about it? And And that's what next week for me is all about. It started a day early. Live here on the JV show.
Live on here it is. Mental
Health Awareness Week.
Mental health awareness week.
Always ahead of the curve.
We're
your
always ahead of the
husband.
curve on this
planned
show.
it meticulously. Yes.
Absolutely. I did want people out there. We've dealt with a lot of issues over this 92 shows. We've dealt with domestic abuse, depression, anxiety, all of these things, because actually over 2 years, of course, a lot of people fell into depression because they fell into the net of depression. They hadn't been aware of that before, and suddenly loneliness or any one of 100 things during this pandemic hit them off. How did you deal with that during this time? Did your mind go to the wrong place?
It didn't hit me too badly. I think that's really interesting. A lot of people that had never suffered from mental health issues started to. Agoraphobia would be an obvious one. As the lockdowns ended, and loneliness is the theme of Mental Health Awareness Week, and that was like crippling for people and isn't talked about. I imagine there are people probably listening whose best friend was YouTube and a cat, and they were used to a busy life. And back to the freelance musician thing, there are a lot of people's self-worth is based on what jobs they get as a freelancer. Yes. And that's why we feel like we've got to tell everyone all the time
what we're doing,
what our next job is, because if you're a stockbroker, you don't say I've got 9 to 5 on Wednesday. Because it's consistent. So
that's quite nice.
Yeah. So I think there's. I think for me, to answer your question, I spent more time with Megan and Chris than I ever have in the lockdown.
Tell us about who Megan and Chris are.
Megan and Chris are my children. Sorry, yeah.
And how old are they?
Megan's 16.
Wow.
GCSEs going on. A different type of anxiety, not clinical, but she's got a bit.
Yes.
I think all people have
during this
in
time.
exams at the moment. Bless them. And Chris is my son. He's 12, and not really anxious at all.
Which is great.
Yeah, could perhaps do a bit more. Yeah.
A touch of anxiety, please, about this.
Yes, just a little bit would be nice. No, but I spent a lot of time with them. A separated dad, which isn't a very common term, but
separated.
I think that should be a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as in you're definitely an active part of your children's
working
lives.
all the time with them. Yeah.
And Chris would, so an average 2 weeks would be Monday to Friday with Chris, both of them on Saturday, 12-hour shift trying to set up a new company on Sunday, and then the other child, Megan, Monday to Friday, and so on. And their mum was doing exactly the same. She's a brilliant mum, doing the same thing. So it was it was okay. And I was very, very motivated setting up Hennessy-Brown music, buzz music.
Yeah. So you look at that. You can look on that on YouTube or on Google. Hennessy-Brown music. Okay, look at that. Check it out. Yeah. Right. We want to play. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's have another. Why don't we do the next one that you're going to do for us, which is about. I think it's
You've got the set list, haven't you?
I've got this for Deborah in May. And
I was
I
hoping you were going to do summertime.
Oh, summertime. You want to do summertime? All right.
Sorry,
okay.
Is that going to screw
No,
things up?
we'll do summertime and then
fine.
we'll talk about Mexico. All right.
It was so beautiful.
All right. Summertime
I'd like to hear
then.
it.
Summertime it is in
Okay.
A minor.
Give me
Right.
about 20 seconds to find it.
I'll give you 20.
I'll try
what I'll
8.
do is I'll talk to the camera. Now, what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, as he finds his music now, in a moment of high anxiety, as he looks for summertime and the living is easy, and the music is going everywhere, and that's why he had it in the order. You see, you've now created anxiety. I'm not using this mic, am I? No, for the summertime. You found it. Right, I can get we've got loads of time. Here we go. Mute and off with that. And we've got this new way of miking when we've got live in the studio, so the microphone picks up the piano and the cello, and I hope the voice. And this one we've had this a couple of times, and we're going to see what we can do to make it beautiful. That is so beautiful. That should be recorded immediately.
That's what people are saying. That's what people are saying. They've so enjoyed that. They said this should be recorded straight away. It's fantastic.
That's a nice idea.
Brilliant. So yes, people.
Are we back on?
Yes, I've switched you back on.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
what they say? What's the feedback?
They just love the cello, the piano, and your singing was just stunning with it as well.
Well, there we go.
Yes,
see,
it's
that was
just.
a suggestion.
I've
I was
always
gonna do
felt
it.
actually that you two are a good combination
It's
because
very
the
relaxing
timbre.
playing with you.
That's
Yeah,
very,
very,
it's
you know.
beautiful. I have to say,
What a voice.
I have to. You're such a nice man. Yeah, it's the one thing. I mean, I have to say that one of the reasons I don't get people I don't like into the studio. I never get
It's
guests
too
I don't
small a
like.
room.
It's too small a room, and actually it's too long a day. And you kind of think, But one of the things that always struck me when you were a young man was what a nice boy you were when you were so much younger, and it was, for me, it was one of the tragedies of this not being dealt with, not knowing what to do. So alcohol is turned to or drugs or whatever it is, whatever the dependency. I've got friends who've had cocaine dependencies with alcohol, and there's another friend who's going to come on, and I make no apologies for this right now, and I'm going to say this to the camera right now. I make no apologies for bringing on people who have got addictions, who've had addictions, and some people will say who always have addictions and will be difficult. He's clean for 10 years, okay?
Amazing.
And that is incredible. But there are so many people out there for whom alcohol has become a real issue, and I want people to not be so blasé about it. That's, I suppose, I come from a family of alcoholics, okay? My grandfather was an alcoholic. My mother's 4 brothers was an alcoholic, and it affected and hugely affected their lives. I'm going to get my brother-in-law. Sorry, tablets. I've got to take my tablets. Yeah. Just to talk a little bit. When I take my tablets, I've got to take them at 9:30.
Right.
It's about my kidneys. Everybody who don't know,
Right.
I have to take my.
It's all right, everyone. Don't worry. He's
Okay,
taking
I'm just about to take
He's
this.
taking
Can you
his
tell
tablets.
us a little bit about Mexico, because that's.
Oh yes. Tell
Oh,
us
yeah.
about
Yeah,
Mexico.
because you've got a lot happening. I'll take my tablets. You
There's
talk
always
Mexico.
summertime there. See what I did there?
Oh,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
good.
I love the link you
Yeah.
made.
You're a
Yeah,
natural,
thank you very much.
Jonathan.
Classic radio too. Smooth.
Move.
It is.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I'll tell you about Mexico, and I mustn't forget to tell you about our summertime concert on Friday. I think, am I allowed to do a plug?
Yes, absolutely. Do a
Is this
plug.
time for
do
a
a
plug?
Do a
Okay.
plug.
I've got a thing.
Let's
Sue's
see
got
if
a
I can
thing.
do this. Yeah, hang on a minute. Oh,
So on Friday,
right.
The-
I'm gonna come off here.
there's a sort of, it's a Mental Health Awareness Week concert for my. I run a concert series with Cressida called Hennessy-Brown Music Concerts, and Vasari singers are coming along on Friday. I don't know if you know them.
I don't know them.
They're great. Their sort of tagline is an amateur choir creating professional standards, and I'd agree that they're great. Yeah, they're lovely. They're on our roster at Hennessy-Brown Music, and they're singing a concert at Holy Trinity Church, 7:30.
That's in Guildford, folks.
That's in Guildford. If you're within, I'd say 18.5 miles.
Yes, come.
At least worth the trek, and there's very good parking. It's a big church.
It is a
you
big-
can, you
nice-
can get 550
nice
people in
I have
there.
to go and sing there on Sunday.
Yeah,
So you won't get
I'm for the
COVID.
mayoring. I'm doing the mayoring. Yeah, I'm doing
Are you?
the mayoring. Yeah, I'm
Very
going to sing a
good.
song at the piano. So
And they are singing works by Elgar. Oh, what an ignoramus. Do you say Delibes or Delibes?
Delibes.
Sorry. Okay, and Robert Schumann.
Schumann, yeah.
Not Clara.
Uh,
Vaughan Williams and Shearing, and yeah, they're great. Jeremy Backhouse is conducting.
Fantastic.
So it's
Great
fun.
conductor.
Should be fun.
Good.
Have a look. So
Good stuff. We'll put that up on the website actually,
that would
and
be
I'm sure that our techie can get that. We'll give a plug
Okay.
to it. Okay.
we're collecting for Oakleaf at that concert, which is
Great. So tell us about Mexico.
so Mexico. Was very, very long for a start. You know, literally talking about Mexico.
Yeah.
It took about 38 hours once, I remember, to drive from the top where we were on the opera tour
Yes.
back to where we lived, which was the equivalent of Cornwall in Mexico,
Wow.
the Yucatan Peninsula. And my story, being less facetious about going to Mexico, was that when I was about 28, I was a bit No, sorry, younger than that, 25 probably. I was a little bit, not disillusioned, but I was just thinking, I want to do something that doesn't involve quite so much going around the M25.
Yes.
Leaving the house for 12 hours and making £112, you know, and at something that's like fairly skilled.
Yes.
And
just not being rewarded for it.
Well, I mean, just being a bit skint and you know, and the level of playing here is so high.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe I'll get some orchestral experience in Brazil or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And then this job came up in Mexico. Mum spotted it in a little magazine, and this woman called Maria Lee Sosa came over. She was auditioning people. I took an audition and got the job. And that started a 6-year adventure living in Mérida in Yucatan. And it was an amazing part of my life that I wouldn't change for anything, you know, even though when I got back, it was like leaving music college again.
Yeah, you have to start from the bottom up.
Yeah, you know, with guaranteed income of 60 quid teaching at a school and starting all over again. Nobody was holding my space, you know,
no, they don't.
in the music business.
You're in and you're out.
But it was beautiful over there, you know, and I had a salary and I knew which theatre I was going to, and people were so welcoming. I learned Spanish. I met the mother of my kids there. Megan was born there.
A lot happened.
Yeah, a lot happened. Yeah, I was supposed to go for a year, and you know, with 2 suitcases. I came back 6 years later with 14 suitcases, a wife and a child.
Oh my goodness!
And and it was a lot of fun, and quite a lot of the time that I spent there, my drinking was fun, and the consequences weren't too bad. Now, there's a saying in the 12-step programs, you know, that it starts with some consequences and it ends with only consequences. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's very real, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I mean, I've heard dozens of stories like that, and I can't share them because there's a card read out in the meetings. You know, what you hear here when you
stays here.
It stays here when you leave here. But I could talk about me, and in Mexico, quite a lot of the time it was kind of under control. And part of that was because of this wonderful orchestra, the Yucatan Symphony Orchestra. You know, we played with Placido Domingo and the Cuban National Ballet. There was no competition. We were the only orchestra around.
Yes.
And there were lots of expats, Russians, Ukrainians, English, French, all working together, playing music, not cancelling each other's stuff.
No.
And it was beautiful, and I had a good time, and I behaved like an idiot some of the time. But I met this guy Leroy Osman, who was one of many characters I met, one of many interesting expats, and he was a Texan, and he was a Democrat, which I think is quite a rare combination.
Yes, it is. Exactly right.
And
in that part of America, not many.
Yeah,
not many
exactly.
left.
Yeah, and I used to wear a T-shirt walking around Mérida, which said "Somewhere in Texas, a village is missing its idiot," because it was when George Bush was president, and he liked it, but 1 or 2 people didn't, so
no.
I stopped wearing it. Anyway, back to Leroy Osman. Medina was a piece that he wrote for Deborah, who was a good friend of his, on her wedding day. And Leroy's music was normally not suitable for this show. You know, it was sort of atonal. Much worse than that.
Yeah.
Those kind of intervals.
Yeah, I know those.
People go, ooh,
yes.
because they're not used to it.
Yeah.
Or perhaps because it shouldn't be done. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but this is very approachable, and it's just a cello on its own.
And it's a happy memory.
And it's a happy memory. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Give it a shot. Nicely done. interesting is that
I was
it was.
they won't like.
Well,
I was thinking they won't like this one.
have you unmuted? Thank you. And so, well, whether they do, it's interesting, isn't it? When we say we don't like something, what we mean is we don't know something, and often that means if once we've heard it a few times, we go, I like that.
Yes.
Because we've become familiar with it. But the first time we hear something, I mean, something, I don't know, like Benjamin Britten, everybody says, I don't like Benjamin Britten. Once you hear the C interludes, and it starts to wipe you out, and you play them, it's one, and you go, oh, I love those. It's a thing about knowledge and remember. Now, we're running out of time, of course we have, always, but I want to play, let's move on to Oliver. And because I think actually one of the things about your drinking was that, of course, within the orchestral tradition, I mean, at Glyndebourne, Covent Garden, everywhere you go, drinking is as much part of the culture as anything else. So how do you, as a bipolar person, how do you counteract that culture of drinking after a show, before a show, after a show, during a show, whatever?
What do you mean, as a sober person?
As a musician, going in as a sober person.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So someone asked me, what's it like going in alone?
Yeah. That's what it feels like, always for me.
Yeah. And that's a really good question. The thing was that I didn't used to drink before I played because I knew I couldn't stop. That, right. I worked that out, even though I was in denial about alcoholism. So I thought, well, I wouldn't drink at all until afterwards. And then I'd go to the Old Nell.
The Old Nell, which is
a pub right next to where Oliver used to
Garden,
be,
isn't
on
it?
Drury Lane,
yeah.
And sometimes get the train, sometimes miss the train. But in that period of my life, things were going well. I was getting lots of West End work. I was living with my wife and children. Things was quite settled, so I was sort of reining it in. That's the strange thing about addiction. And there's probably people listening or watching that are reining in some kind of addiction right now. It might be codependency. It could be gambling. It could be anything. And I was doing it with. It could be work addiction, which is another whole thing that is rife and the most undersubscribed 12-step fellowship out there. I mean, in Japan or here.
Yes.
Anyway, so I used to go to the Old Nell and kind of behave in a responsible manner, and most of the time, and it was good fun playing Oliver, and Rowan Atkinson was doing it, and everyone loved it.
Fagin,
he was Fagin, that's right. And then Russ Abbott did it.
Yes.
And I felt very lucky.
I was asked to do it for the Sheffield Playhouse, but I didn't do it. I didn't do
Were
it for
you?
the West. Yeah, I did.
To do Fagin?
To Fagin, but I never got to do it. I was doing Falstaff at the time, so I would have loved to have done Fagin.
You'd have been great.
It's a great role, but it's interesting because at the end of the show, the show would finish about 10, I presume.
Yeah.
It'd be about that.
Yeah.
So you could get the 11:45 or something like that train. So how many pints would you fit in between?
Well, there was 12:09.
That was 12:09.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's quite a few pints, isn't it?
Yeah. It would probably be days when I had nothing to do the next day, when it was more of a problem. And
you could control it that way. You could just go right.
Well, I think the first step in the 12 steps, the whole kind of concept of it is we can't control it, not even now. So I need to ask God every morning for a sober day, and a day free of nicotine. That's how I.
And how do you find? I mean, where does faith fit in for you? I haven't even asked you this question before. How does it fit in? You ask God. You just you just a quick prayer. You throw one up.
Yeah, I mean the God of my understanding is probably not the same one that I had when I was at Guildford Cathedral as a chorister. But it's whoever it's whatever force it was that could help Bach write the B minor Mass, and we're still listening to it now. You know, that's not me. That's a power greater than me. I don't really understand what God is, but it's a word that's very powerful, and might as well just give up the debating society and go and say, okay, I'll call it God, and it seems to have worked. You know, for quite
you,
a few
for a lot of you
days in a row with the alcohol, and also, and there's a lot more in this whole 12-step thing than just not drinking. You know, that's 1/12 of it. There's spotting my character defects and like who, you know, my grandiosity, my arrogance, my short-temperedness, all those things, and sort of trying to do the opposite on a daily basis. And so I suppose, I mean, originally the founders of the 12 steps were Christian-based.
Yeah. They used the Bible verses, you know, coming back every day, repenting every day, and the idea of going, we're going to do it, you know, forgive us the all this is past, and grant that we may serve you in newness of life to the glory of your name. There's that kind of the confession, you know, there's starting again each day type of thing. You know, it's Christian. What you're describing, many people out there who are Christians will go, yeah, it sounds Christian to me. Yeah. And it's quite. But it's
ecumenical as well. So
yes, of course.
Rather
do
like
whatever God,
as
you. I think in 12 steps, whatever God as you conceive Him to be. Is it? What's the line?
The God of your understanding.
The God of your understanding.
Yeah. So it could be Allah or nothing, you know.
But God as you understand.
The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking.
Yes.
That's it.
And and I think anybody out there who is seriously facing social addiction. Of alcohol, of drugs, or anything else, I really can't strongly suggest enough about 12 steps. It's one of the most proven, successful, helpful ways. Meetings. How many times do you have a meeting? Once, twice a week?
There are hundreds.
Hundreds, all
and
the
they're
time.
on Zoom now as well.
Yeah.
So if you're isolated, you can still go. You know, there's a lot of belly laughter and fun as well. It's not all, you know,
gloom and doom.
No, not at all. No.
Should we play a few out? You've been. I'll ask a word at the end, but let's just play the couple of Oliver ones, because for the happy memories that you had there playing. I think we're going to start with as long as she or he. It's he, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's sung by Nancy. I seem to remember. I played Dr. Grimwig, if you don't mind, at the school production. Yes, when I was about 15 or 16. That was my introduction to the theatre. Now, I think we're playing this in D, aren't we? Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Can you read those for me? I can't remember what the other one's in. What the other Where's Love? Is that one in D as well?
I'm not sure. I'll let you know.
Well, yeah. Oh, Jenny, we can make a fortune, right, on ships. I think that's it.
Wow, that was wonderful.
On ships. We're touring around Norway.
Right,
It's
yeah.
ships.
We
I
could
said
eat some
ships.
chips.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we have ships as well. Okay, and the next one is now was it in B or was it T-shirt?
Oh no, that's Edelweiss. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
I don't want
Edelweiss, I think we do
bear
Edelweiss
with
to
me a
finish them.
second.
So
Where is love?
Yeah, yes. That's, I think it's D, isn't it?
Where is love?
Number 100.
Number 100.
Yes.
And
It's in D. You're quite right.
no, there we are. This one is more tricky. I always find this the chord progression. Can we just put me on a minute? What's always interesting is that the guy who wrote this, Oliver Bart. What's his name? Lionel Bart, not Oliver Bart.
Oliver Bart. Who wrote
Lionel
the song?
Bart.
Wrote
He
the,
couldn't
so, the song Oliver.
Oliver, he wrote the song Oliver. He couldn't actually write music, and this was all in his head. That's what I understood, and so he got other people to transcribe these songs. But they are so intuitive, aren't they? You know that's the melodies are intuitive, and the harmonies is good, kind of progressive harmony.
Oh yeah. Massive earworm stuff. You can't get it out of your head.
No, it must be awful when you left the theatre.
I had to listen to Pink Floyd for about half an hour. It just sort of numb
the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we'll try this one. And just be patient with me. I can't remember most of what we did the other day. Half an hour ago or 2 hours ago when we moved.
Don't worry.
Right, here we go.
That'll be
Let's
great.
try.
Well, that got them all. Lots of tears, lots of joy, lots of thank you very much. And they just loved it. It was beautiful and very thrilling. And yeah. So thank you. And lots of thanks for Jonathan coming in. I think we might have to have Jonathan back in again.
I think
I think so. I think that would be lovely.
I loved it.
Well, I just think, do you know what's lovely? It's just going with the moment, isn't it? It's just going with the moment about playing tunes like this. Just pick a key, go for it, and then see what
You're
happens.
very good at that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just
It's nice to do a bit of
impro.
Yeah.
And, you taking it up the octave and doing all that kind of stuff. It's very special. I have to say, Jonathan, you've been about 1,000 times more than I wanted, expected, required.
Oh, bless you.
And your playing is just. You may say it's not exemplary, but for most of our listeners, and from my point of view, you play with your heart. You play with your hands that have got your heart attached to it. It's not an intellectual thing. The intellectual thing, that was years ago. And I always say this to my students, I don't care about that. I don't care about the notes. I understand what the notes are. What's below the notes? What's underneath the notes? What does it mean? And can you connect? Can you communicate with people? This is not highbrow stuff. We're not trying to do highbrow. We play Bach and that's enough. But I think actually it's a lovely thing. So just a few words from you. We're going to sing a song and then I'm going to go home. You're going to go home, actually. I'm going to stay.
You're going to stay here.
I'll stay here. I've got no boiler.
Survive.
So we've got no boiler. Did I say we've got no boiler?
We've got no boiler. Listen, stop. You said I could talk, so
Right,
I'm going to
Off you
talk.
go. Do your thing.
Just very quickly, wonderful to see you all at the concert last night. Those of you who would like to tap into any concerts that we've got, hang on a second. I need to clear this off. Let me just finish this. Oh, hang on a minute.
No. Can you do it?
Yeah, I can.
Do you want me to chat in between?
No,
Or do you want Jonathan to give
I just needed to find it and
another,
kick it off.
hello,
I've
my
been
name's
well
Jonathan?
No, I've been well trained by Rachel. So
Stay here. 2
yes,
minutes.
we're off to Scotland in a week's time or so, and Aaron might be happening on the 21st. We're definitely off to Perth on the 27th and the 28th. We're at Cowdenbeath. Be lovely to see you. If you can't come to those, then I believe that Fiona Richards is planning a little soiree for those of you who'd like to come and say hello. Whilst we're in Scotland. So do come and have a lovely chat with us there and talk to Fiona in advance, of course. Off in June, we're at the United Reformed Church in Romford on the 3rd. We're doing a lovely concert with the Chester Deo Gratias Choir on the 18th. And on the 24th, we're doing a fabulous show in Guildford. So we really need you to come to those. And then at the beginning of July, we've got the Christchurch URC in Chelmsford. So yeah, all very good stuff. So that's exciting. What do I need here? I need to go to this little one here. Oh, no, I don't. I need to stop that one first. So I'm all left hands today. And so what I want here is, yes, sorry, Jonathan, you're in the background of this one, but never mind. It's been lovely having you here. So yes, if you have can just click subscribe onto our YouTube channel, that would be marvellous, because we would really love you to be subscribing to our YouTube channel. So find JV in that little circle, click on subscribe, or click like, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And then every time we put something up, you'll get a little notice to say that Jonathan is talking again. And if you want to contact me, then I am on sue@jonathanveira.com, and that will be where you need to write to me. And if you want to buy any CDs, or you want to have a look at where we are, what the addresses might be, then that's www.jonathanveira.com.
Right, let me sing this final song for you, and I want to sing this for Pat because "And Can It Be" is not going to be sung now.
No.
But Pat, we can do it next week. I promise you, we're here next week, and it's a little song
Hang on a minute.
called "Go Peaceful," and just one verse of "The Lord bless you and keep you." And I think what we're going to do is, as we play out, we might play Edelweiss in B flat. So, all right, just to say goodbye to everybody, and he goes like this: Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways. Can you unmute the piano, please? Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes. God hold you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. Final blessing, here we go. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace. And that especially, Pat, is for you and the friend you were visiting, End of Life Care. God bless you all. So lovely to see you here, and we're just going to play you out with a little bit of that B flat, isn't it? Here we go. Good night from me, it's good night from Sue, and it's good night from Jonathan. God bless you, and see you next week.